I got sent the script and a little bit of a bio about who was involved in it and everything. I'd just seen Metro Manila, which is a film that Sean Ellis wrote and directed, and I'd literally just seen it 3 weeks before or something, and I thought it was one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. So my wife was with me and I said, I've just been sent a script by the guy who did Metro Manila, and she was like, wow, could we watch it together? I just knew instantly I wanted to do it regardless of what it was about. Also, Cillian Murphy was already attached, so I'm a huge fan of Cillian's anyway.
I'd heard a lot about Metro Manila, but I hadn't seen it. So I watched Metro Manila, and it kind of knocked me out. I was really, really blown away by it. Myself and my wife watched it, and it kind of had a big impact on me. And then I read the script. Well, I have a very, very simple rule with reading any script, and that is it needs to keep your attention. You know, if you're reading it and then you go, oh, I really need to cut the grass or have a cup of tea or go to the shop, I'll just put it down. Then to me, it's out. But with this one, it was just straight through. You know, it was so compelling. You had to keep reading until the end. That for me, if it's that good of a read on the page, it's just only gonna get better and better.
What is your mission?
Operation Anthropoid.
What is anthropoid?
The decision was to do it in Czech accent. You know, Sean had decided that all the Germans would speak German, so it was very much like a foreign language. So I think it was a clever approach to it.
I was sort of terrified about the idea of that, of doing a Czech accent, because it's not Russian, which is stronger and you can hang your hat on it a bit more. It's a bit more of a definitive thing. Czech's quite subtle, really. To the actual spot where my character had his last breath, and it had a massive effect on me.
The first time when I walked to the church, it was the real church. And then I was in the barandov, I was in the atelier, you see the lights and then big things everywhere. And then there were those doors which seemed like it's building out of wood. And then I opened the doors and I entered them and I was in the church again. Which was really, I was really surprised that it can be that real.
I literally went from seeing the real church on a Tuesday and then seeing the set on a Thursday. And it was mind-blowing. They were literally identical. Honestly, I've never, and I feel like I maybe never will see a set like it. It was driven by Sean, but also Morgan Kennedy, who's our production designer. The attention to detail of replicating that church was like nothing I've ever seen. It was exact to scale model of the church. Honestly, the most impressive set I've ever seen in my life.
First time for me to have a director behind the lens directing you. It gives you a real connection. It was very much like me, Jamie, and Sean were making this thing together, and he was right there. Even all the action scenes.
His commitment to this story, to these guys, to this piece of history, to these two heroes, was phenomenal. He'd been doing all this sort of training leading up to it for months in terms of a lot of the stuff was handheld on the shoulder. So he'd been doing all this very specific exercise. Sean had been writing this and had been in his head for 12 years before it came into actually making the movie. So he had a lot of time to think about how he wanted this movie to look. He was just so prepared physically and mentally to take on this project. I've never in my career had a director who's gone so far in terms of setting up visually how he wants the sort of major scenes to play.
He managed to find a tiny Cillian Murphy doll on the internet, but unfortunately there was a Jamie Dornan doll at that time available. I'm sure there's many available now in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But he had everything photographed with the real backgrounds and all the different camera angles with these little action men. So it was fascinating and also, again, really reassuring to know that every single shot was worked out, and he knew exactly where you needed to be. There's these guys in the Czech Republic that reenact the parachutists, the whole thing. So they tell you how to fall and how to roll and how to put away the parachute. They showed us where to keep the gun and how to load the gun and how to stand shooting the gun, and then with the Sten gun that I had, they show how to load that and shoot it, and it's and we actually went to a real shooting range and shot like live rounds, and you realize how fucking difficult it is to hit a target with these guns.
We're under siege in this church, and these Nazis come in, and I stood up and I fired off the gun. It was very light, the trigger, lighter than it had been at any time, just for this take, and the gun just went off so fast, and I was just almost screaming, and the adrenaline was so sort of huge with me. I had such a will to do it that I almost sort of scared myself.
Well, I think for this film to succeed, the relationship between Josef and Jan had to be. You had to feel it, and it had to be real. And unfortunately, Jamie Dornan is a cock, so that was tricky. But no, change.
Killian, who was Killian? Which one was Killian? Oh yes, Killian. He's the older one. Yeah, no, he was great. He was great. I think. I don't remember a lot about him.
1942年、ナチス占領下のプラハ。
What is your mission?
2人の若者に託された任務。それはナチスのナンバー3、ハイドリヒの暗殺。
And that gets us noticed. And us being noticed gets us all shot.
Only Hitler is above him in the Nazi hierarchy.
Are you completely mad? You kill Heydrich and Hitler will tear Prague apart.
Walk away now.
Maybe it was a mistake not to inform you of the danger.
Anthropoid, proceed. Stop.
Is our country still ready and willing to resist Nazi Germany?
Anyone caught aiding the criminals will be shot, along with his entire family.
There's a problem.
It's your duty to stay alive and continue fighting.
「ハイドリヒを撃て」ナチの野獣暗殺作戦。壮絶な戦いが待っている。